Hey everybody, welcome back to Brick Model Rotor on YouTube. My name is Glenn Holland.
I'm Cal Leapart.
And we are back again with our fourth premium instruction kit.
We keep doing these, don't we?
We do. I mean, you guys want more of them, so we keep making them. And I barely convinced him to do 20 boxcars originally. Like, he was thinking that we should just do 10. And then we did 20.
Maybe we might sell
And then
10.
we did like 50 more. And then we did a second car. And then it just all downhill from there. So here we are with our fourth kit, and this is the AAR 53-foot, 70-ton flat car with a bonus model.
Bonus.
Included a 1950s D4 crawler tractor. Instructions are included. Separate book included in the box with the instructions for the flat car. So you built this one this time, didn't you?
This is indeed one of my models.
Yeah, you outnumbered me 3-1 now.
Would you like me to talk a bit about it?
Sure, go for it.
So the 53-foot AAR 70-ton flat car. It was developed. The design. It was a standardized design. I guess developed by the Association of American Railroads. I always get the A's mixed up. Association of American Railroads. During World War II, so that railroads would have a standardized flat car design to use amongst themselves. The idea being that it would
Interchangeable parts.
It would be interchangeable parts, easy to maintain, and that sort of thing.
It's kind of like a USRA thing, but different.
Yeah. More or less along the same lines.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up with 3 flat car designs at the time. The one we modeled is the 53-foot, 70-ton model.
What other ones did they have? What other ones did they have?
They had a 50-foot model that was based off a Union Pacific design. That was only, I think, 55 tons, or 55-ton capacity. And then there was another one that was based off a Pennsylvania Railroad design that wasn't very popular. This particular design here was actually based off an Erie Railroad flat car.
So yeah, I guess they worked pretty well.
Oh yeah, they built them up through, I think, the 60s.
They used them a long time after
And they were popular on railroads up through the 80s.
You can read more about it in the history, which is included in the book. So we have some examples of the flat cars here. So
We got 3.
I actually built my own this time. Kale still built 2 of them compared to my 1, but I still built one. So you built yours in reddish brown and dark red.
Yeah. Eventually this one's going to get lettered for Western Maryland, and this one is going to be a Milwaukee Road flat car.
I talked you into that one now.
Yes, you did.
I built black because I'm going to use the cotton belt decals, which we have. We'll get a little bit more into that later. So what kind of details did you put on this? Like, it's a pretty cool design because the main frame of the flat car isn't 8 studs wide. It's like 7 1/4 plates or something like that.
Yeah, basically both the side sills are inset a plate on each side. So
the decking hangs over it.
Yeah, so the decking actually overhangs a plate on each side, a plate thickness, which gives it a little bit more definition. This particular flat car design did have a little bit of an overhang on the deck. There are some out there where the deck is flush with the sides, but this one had an overhang, and I wanted to
It's got character.
make sure it modeled it, because it gives it, it does give it a little bit more character.
Turned out really well. I like it a lot.
Yeah, flat cars are pretty hard because there's
not a whole lot of space to work with.
There's not a whole lot to them. They're fairly plain, so to make one look really like,
Yeah.
to make one like really wow you.
For a basic car, I mean, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So then we also have variations in the deck. Do you want to talk about that too?
Yeah.
So hold the Western Maryland one up so they can see what we're talking about. So while he's doing that, my cotton belt car has an 8 wide deck the entire way down, just built with 8-stud tiles, and then so the one that Kale's got here is sort of an updated model with the ends are actually built at 7 studs wide.
Yeah, one of the characteristics of this flat car, at least as built, was that the couple boards at the end where the steps are, or the grabs are, the boards were narrower so that you can get up onto the car easier. As I was building this car, I couldn't figure out how to make that work. So the original version ended up with just the 8 wide boards all the way to the end, which I have seen some cars like that.
So that's not unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic. It was probably something done by the railroads.
Whichever ones that
as they replace decks, they just like whatever, we'll just make it the same width.
Yeah.
But then just as just as we were ready. Just as we were like printing box labels.
Yeah, I had already started to print the box labels, and then I think we were about to finalize the edits on the instructions.
Yeah, we were like this close to finalizing the instructions.
Yeah. Who came up with that?
Rob Hendricks, if you're familiar with him from Lifelights.
Oh yeah.
Was emailing me back and forth like, because he noticed this. He noticed this on the real car as opposed to my model, and I was like, it needs to have narrower ends, and he wouldn't let it go.
And so he forced Kale into redesigning it.
He forced me into rethinking the front here. So the instructions will show you how to build it this way with the 8 wide boards, but we're going to have an update that will.
We'll email out to you if you buy the flat car.
Yes, we'll email out to everyone to show you how to modify it, and it actually is.
It's pretty simple. Actually,
it's not a hard modification. I mean, you don't have to. It doesn't really affect too much of the car. It just affects the very ends, and it's probably a difference of maybe a half a dozen parts.
That's manageable, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rebuild mine now, so.
So
it does look pretty. It gives even more character having.
Yeah, it gives a little more character with that, and it's a little bit more accurate. We're always trying to make the most accurate model we can.
So sometimes that means having to email out an addendum.
Yeah.
But it does look really good, and so I guess we can go into the decals now, because that's kind of a good segue. So we mentioned the car colors.
Did you want to go over bonus model?
We'll go over that towards the end, after the decals. We'll finish the main part first. So we talked about just a minute ago that we have all these cars available in, well, you can build them in reddish brown, dark red, and black.
Yes.
And you can build them in other colors too. It's just the ones that you have decals for.
You can build the car in any color you want.
Yeah.
Reasonably. We might not have all the parts available in all the colors of it.
Yeah, we'll have to mention that in a moment. But we made 3 examples of probably the 3 most common.
Yeah, most
colors.
of the decal sets we've come up with are either black, dark red, or reddish brown.
So we have 2 different versions of Western Maryland. Kale's a big Western Maryland fan, so he did the speed lettering and then the Western Maryland Ball logo.
Fast Freight.
Fast Freight logo.
Yeah.
And so those are sold separately.
Yeah, they're each
they're very
separate
different.
sets.
Yeah, they're very different.
So
those are sold separately.
One of the running jokes we have is that the only reason we're doing these flat cars or these freight cars are so we can get our own decals made.
But you can have them too.
But we sell them to you too.
So the Western Maryland's 2 different kinds there for sale separately. You can use reddish brown for those. It's pretty much the only color.
Yeah.
There's also Milwaukee Road. These are the ones that I talked Kale into doing.
Yeah.
We have those 2 different versions, but they'll be sold on the same sheet. The only difference is the logo.
Yeah, there's 2 different styles of logo that.
One of them has a little bit more wording on it.
Yeah, one of them is just the plain Milwaukee Road logo, and then the other is the more fancy Milwaukee.
Yeah, Chicago, St. Paul, and Pacific.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we included both of those. You can choose whichever logo you want, and you can also build them on reddish brown or dark red car.
Yeah, during researching these decals, I came across versions of cars that were you know, the regular like freight car color, the reddish brown, and
some
also
of
colors
them-
that were very dark red.
So we had to do both.
So I figured, you know,
We had to do both.
I'd show both versions. You can do whatever
Mhm.
version you wish.
And so we also have cotton belt ones. This was my this was my one pick for decals because I'm kind of a cotton belt kind of person, and so that's why I built the black car. So that's those are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Um,
And one of the other things is we tried to cover more geographical territory with
So yeah, we have a little
this
bit of
decal set. So
we have
we've got-
East Coast, we have kind of South, we've got kind of
Yeah.
a little bit Midwest and more Western roads.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have Southern Pacific. These are two. They're exactly the same, but you can build them on a reddish
Yeah.
brown or dark
Again,
red
that
car.
was another car that we found versions and that were noticeably
yeah.
dark red, and then others that were noticeably like reddish brown.
So you can choose whichever one you want. We also have Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton
Yes.
for another option for the a black flat car. DNRGW with the cool Rio Grande logo.
It's such a cool logo.
It is a cool logo. I like that one. I may actually build a second flat car now.
Eventually, it would be nice to have all the black cars.
It would be with all the different decals that we have.
Yeah.
And so the last ones that we made requires a little bit of extra conversation. So we made Chessie decals, and so these would be for a dark blue car.
Yes.
And so there's a little bit of there's an asterisk that goes with that.
Yeah. There are some parts that aren't available in dark blue.
Mhm. You can substitute black for them though.
Yeah, I think it's a total of 4 parts. There's the 1x1 tile with clip that's used for the steps to hold the steps on, and then
There's a couple brackets.
there. Oh yeah, there's some brackets underneath, and then the 1x1 plate with vertical clip
For the
for the
brake wheel.
for the brake wheel. And what else?
Was that it?
There's one other part.
Was it the handles?
Oh, the handle. This style handle is not available in dark blue, but the other
open
one,
end one is.
the open end one is.
Right.
So you would have to substitute that. So you can actually build the dark blue one without
So substitute
and
too many
substitute
parts.
substitute a couple parts without it looking
Too bad.
too bad.
Or you can, if you feel like it, you can paint them.
You can paint them.
You can paint if you're feeling up for it. But we made the decals anyways, and we'll have them up on our store in case you
Yeah.
want one.
Yeah.
They'll all be the same on one sheet. The only difference between these three is that they're C&O versions, Western Maryland, and a B&O version. But
Honestly,
rest
the
of them are
couple
same.
parts you have to substitute for black probably aren't going to be that noticeable.
No. I mean, it's like a couple, like half plate width on the end and a
Yeah.
couple parts, on the ends. It's not that big a deal.
It's
It's up to you.
but they'll be available.
Yeah. So now we can talk about the bonus model. So why don't you tell him about that? Because I had nothing to do with that. he texted me one night when we were trying to figure out what we were trying to put on the flat car. And he's like, "Hey, I made this D4," and he's like, "Okay, that was pretty good."
Yes. As I was saying before, the flat car is kind of
It's a little basic.
it's
by
a little
comparison.
basic. I mean, it's kind of a one-trick pony. It does have the inset sides, but there's not a whole lot of other really special details about it.
So we made it special.
So we wanted to have something on there that would, kind of bring some attention to it. One of the neat things about flat cars is all
You
the
can
different
put anything on them.
You can put anything on them. All the different loads you can carry just add so much interest. So we were really kind of debating, like, okay, what do we put on this? What do we put on this? And we had one crawler design that we were considering, and I wasn't really all that into it.
So you made your own.
So yeah. So one night I just basically said, all right, I think I want to try and build a D4.
And you did.
And so yeah, I did. I sat down for a couple hours one evening
Cranked it out.
and banged it out, and then refined it over the next 2 or 3 days. did the instructions for it, and
There you
boom.
go. So
It's-
it's a really nice little model. I'm like I was taken by complete surprise when you texted me, but it's grown on me so much. Like it looks so cool, and just the way you did the headlights and the way you can remove the blade on it and stuff like that, all the little details.
Yeah,
It turned out really well.
yeah. The instructions show you how to build the blade. Now the blade is actually removable.
Yep, it's also
Um,
posable.
Oh yeah, it's also posable. You can have it posed up or down, whatever you want. You can then also fit a minifigure in the seat
Mhm.
at the controls. And like I said, the blade is removable because these D4
Just clips on
crawler.
by a stud.
Yes, it just clips on by studs on the side. Whoops, just broke it.
Oh, you have to be a little bit more careful with it then.
Yeah,
But,
because
the D4 crawlers, they had a removable blade.
oh yeah, you can put any number of attachments on them. But they were also popular.
The army used them without them a lot, didn't they?
Oh yeah, this was one of the models they designated M1 light tractor. I forget what the
The rest of it was.
I forget what the particular designation was, but they generally refer to them as M1 light tractor.
We also included a history of the D4 in their
Yes.
own instruction book, so you can read
Yes.
more about that there too.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say the blade is
Yeah.
removable because they did also use these crawlers in agriculture for
Mhm.
pulling farm implements and stuff. So if you want to have it pulling a plow through your field, you can do that as well.
Does all kinds of things.
Yep, it's got play features.
It does. And so we also included instructions in the flat car book about how to chain it down.
Yes.
And Kale did a really good job with this because if you do it properly, you can take the flat car and do that, and it won't go anywhere. So good job on that. It's like a party trick now.
Yeah.
We also included
Oh yes.
42 Brickmania track links. We had been talking a little bit with Brickmania about using some of their stuff, and so we worked out a deal where we can sell some of their track links in our kits. We're including enough of it's 42.
Yeah, it's 42, enough for one crawler.
Yep, those are included with each kit.
And if you want to build more crawlers, you can go to brickmania.com and
order more. You
order
can also
more.
get them in the reddish brown color that they have if you feel like doing that.
Yeah, they have them available in reddish brown as well.
We use the black steel color.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use either one. So
And also in the instructions, we do show you how the flat car can fit 2 crawlers if you want.
it looks good with two flat cars.
So
two crawlers
in the
on it.
instructions, we show you how to either mount 1 or 2 on the flat car.
So it makes it pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can talk about what we put in the instructions. I mean, the instructions, we did them separately. We did the instructions for the flat car separate from the instructions for the crawler. Both of them include an introduction, a history of both models, the D4 and the flat car, full color instructions and parts list.
Yep.
Question comments page as usual. And then the reason we made them separate is so at some point if we feel like we wanted to re-release the flat car with something else instead of the D4 on it, we can. And we actually have a little bit of a plan in the works for that. We do have.
We
a
do.
little- We do have a.
Not
little
gonna
bit of
say
an
what
idea.
it is.
Not gonna say what it is, but we have an idea, and so that's why we did that. And so that takes care of all the information about the D4 and the flat car. So now we'll say that we'll have 75 of them.
Yes.
We did 75 of them.
We upped our initial production to 75 instead of 50.
We won't have
We've
enough
been doing.
time to restock before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure that more people who wanted a flat car can get one. We'll have 75 of them. We'll also have 25 more tank cars
Yes.
and 15 more hoppers.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had 5 left over from.
We have 4 now.
We have 4 now. Someone bought one, but we had 5
So-
more left over from the last time. So
So we'll have 19.
19
19 hoppers
hoppers for sale now.
And we restocked all our decals for the hoppers,
and the tank cars
as well.
And we'll add the ones for the flat car in. And this will all be in our online store on Monday, December 4th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. The flat cars will cost $35, and the track links and the D4 instructions are included in that.
Yes.
Yes. As usual, the flat cars will include the wheel sets. There's no brick arms elements in these.
Not in the flat car.
Not in the flat car. So yeah, it makes it pretty easy then. Everything just like a normal premium instructions kit, but you get the bonus instructions for the Cat D4 and the track links. So that takes care of that. I guess that is all the information that we have.
I ain't got nothing.
I don't have anything else. Thank you guys very much for watching. We're really excited about... We can't believe that we're doing our 4th one now. Like, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is crazy. So, we do have a lot more planned for next...
10 boxcars.
And boxcars. That's right. We do have a lot more planned for the end of this year and next year, but we're not going to go into that right now. But we are working on...
Pretty cool.
It is going to be pretty cool. We are working on plenty of things. A lot of things that will take us a long time to do. So that's everything, guys. Be sure and check out brickmodelrailroader.com for more information, and be sure to stop by on December 4th at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time to pick up your very own AAR 53-foot flat car with the bonus model for the D4. Thanks for watching, and this is Brick Model Railroader, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.
That went really quick.
I know.
Wow.
I wonder how much time that was.
Editing's going to take me like 15 minutes now.